pagbabalik ko ano. Ito na. Pakikita niyo na ulit ako mabugbog. Pakikita niyo na ulit ako mabugbog tayo.
Wala tayong medyo fans yan. Thank you sa pag-invite. Supportahan niyo kami ang dalawa. Pare ata okay mo ba? Yung galawan ko eh. Hindi yan. Pero di niya alam galawan ni Perks, no? Nakapag-MPL din. Mga sinasabi sa akin mo ba? X na, bakit niyo hear me? Kung wala mo ng true for today's video, ano paramdam na sa MPL na? Ang saya, syempre pare, tagal din ng tayo ito eh. Oh no. Wait lang, nag-moment ako dito din, sure, ano yung sinasabi mo?
Smart Power Online na. Hindi the sending data to power your games just on the Facebook or on the TikTok. For now. Scout can get up to 5 times more transfers. MPL Philippines Season 17. Grabe, ang init ng mga matches na tutunghayan natin ngayong araw. Kami pa rin ang kasama nyo. Welcome back to Mpl Philippines Season 17. Ako si Bertie, kasama si Gina and Mid, and of course, ang ating English desk. Ang Bertie English desk, Rockstars, Leo, and Rita. Hi! Kailangan si Ray.
Dapat ka.
May konting delay pala ng birds.
Ano ba ito?
Alam ko to.
Ano to?
Eh, ganda ka pa rin ni Carlton. Sorry, sinasig ka lang.
Took 2 days for that to come out, really?
Yes. Thank you, Midnight. Thank you. No problem. So, we're back in the track here for game number 2 of day number 2. Ang exciting! Our first week, 80 friend pa sa mga. Ayan, guys. Honestly, this was a series that I did not expect to turn out this way. I was expecting a 2-1 victory, but like, hindi ka naman decisive, but 80 friend, they were very decisive with their victory. It's not the same 80 people that Smart Omega actually close to the game. It's just that the moves that came out from 80 friend were really, nakikita mo ramdam mo yung veteran experience talaga. For sure. And yung ating pangalawang match naman, isa din sa mga veteran moves or veteran moves na sure. And always rising, always shining dito sa ating game number 2. It's so exciting. This is, of course, Rora versus ENC. So, ang ating world champions, kailangan siguro na warm up. They had a really strong game yesterday. You're the one who was what was your thoughts about it?
The world champs are really experiment. Kailangan naglabas ng Balmons. Game number 1, yeah.
Yes.
And then, lately, game number 3.
Ultimate Snipe?
So, maybe today, especially against one of the teams that preseason people are looking at, we're not game 7 to ako. Wild Ride. Baka nag 3 games yun.
Yeah. Honestly kasi, nagulat na tayo end of the first series eh. Kasi we all had certain expectations in terms of how it would turn out, pero marami ang nagulat. Sinulat na 80 friends. This time, pwede mo siguro sabihin na may higher expectations talaga kasi we're looking at the defending champions or yung defending champions of the world and ang third place finisher last season.
You know what? Someone who might have a lot of insight about both of these things, hulaan nyo na ba? Let's throw it over to our friend. What's up, Benji? Well, guys, naman, boss Joe. Ang ganda naman ang jersey natin dyan. Uy, grabe naman.
Ayan.
Kuya Ben,
Siguro,
rinig mo kami, Kuya Ben?
pinaflex na sa atin yung jersey niya.
Kami, hindi ka namin rinig, Kuya Ben. Okay ka muna, okay ka muna. Wala, rinig mo. Okay. Pogi mo ah.
Hindi ka lang narinig pag nakamute.
Tama. Hindi ka namin rinig kung namin ka, pero okay ka lang ba?
Okay na po, okay na okay. Ready na nga ako maglaro eh. Kaya lang wala pala ako sa line-up, hindi na isama.
Ay, sayang. Kaya speaking of laro, ito kaya may didirect midnight na. Anong thoughts mo dun sa nangyaring epic rivalry kahapon? Grabe yung laban ng Liquid versus Rora. 2-1 yun, sobrang tikit. Anong thoughts mo nun?
Nagulat ako doon. Naka-restream din ako noon. And syempre, ang prediction ko doon, Aurora. Pero grabe yung pinakita ni Liquid. Tsaka sobrang init ng laban. May mga I love you na nangyari.
My favorite parts. Yes. Maraming may favorite din. Pero ako, Boss Ben. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Long time no see. I have a question for you. Boss Ben, please. How about TNC?
Yeah, sure po.
What do you think about their chances this season? You're wearing their jersey right now, and especially after their finish last season, third placer. What do you think of their chances this season?
Pilihan lang ng chance ng
maging TNC. And syempre, nag-expect din ako na mas in-improve pa nila kasi bago lang din yung team and nagkaroon na ng maraming games na nabuo. Tapos nagkaroon ng civil qualifiers. Mas nakita nila yung mga kailangan pa nilang i-improve. And naniniwala ako sa TNC na sana makapag-goals na sila ngayon. Ito na yung season na para sa kanila.
It's nice to hear things. Lalo sa kalang mula sa isang pro player. Yung dati kang pro player things. Gusto ko malaman ngayon, content creator ka na. Professional player, professional content creator. Sa chapter na ka ng career mo, ano yung target mo para sa brand mo? And syempre, ano yung mga message mo? Ano yung mga gusto mong ibahagi sa mga fans mo through your content?
Una yung sa paglipat ko sa pagiging content creator, dito ako dinala kasi actually gusto ko pa talaga maglaro, mag-coach, and parang dumating yung time na sobrang saya ko na sa ginagawa ko. Mas nakakapag-focus ako sa pagbibigay ng tips. And syempre, mas nakakatulong ako sa community natin na kahit isang tao sa isang araw yung maligtas natin sa panganib sa pag-restrict.
Thank you.
Sana ay makatulong na tulungan mo po ako, actually. Maraming salamat.
Well, speaking of the community, Kevin, narinig ko, may mga ibang means pa tayo para mag-support ng Mpl Philippines this season. Ano may share mo ba ba?
Napakaraming ways, hindi lang sa panonood. Siyempre, pag may napansin din tayo napansin ko ngayon na nabalikan na natin kung ano nga ba yung mga player na kung ano sila sa 8 years na nagdaan. Marami ko nakita na student lang sila ng ganitong taon, tapos naging pro player na. Marami tayong pwedeng gawin pa kung yung unang titihan ni Doming kahit siya ni Nike, baka maging history yun. Ito yung araw na unang nagtitihan sila. Then, unang laro ng isang player, di ka lang kung first time nangyari yun, MVP agad, yung kay Nike Kapit. So, tapos pwede rin tayong mag-restream, mag-share tayo ng mga narrative, then maraming ways para makapag-support pa sa MPL.
So then, a lot of these streamers are also KOLs, and the MPL is introducing esports KOL of the season. What does this mean for you as a KOL? Are you excited for this award?
Yeah, super excited. Kasi maglalay na ako. Lagi na ako maglalay. May ilago ni MPL. Kasi napakalaki na ito. Para mas ma-recognize pa yung mga solid supporters sa MPL, sa Munton. Kasi marami pa akong nakikita na maraming may potential. Then, baka ito na yung chance sila na ma-recognize pa. Lalo na pag sila yung nanalo ng KOL or esports KOL of the season.
Okay. Nakakatuwa naman kasi, di ba? Kasi lumalaki na din yung pamilya natin dito sa MPL Philippines. So, big thank you, Boss Bentings. Ano ba? Papapredict pa tayo dito, guys? Ano bang...
Pwede na.
Pwede na.
Sa era sa Kalibasi, common denomination na dalawang teams na to. Yung impact ng rora at TNC.
Hindi pwedeng wala, no? Bentings! Prediction! Please!
Bro. Pero iba yung feeling ko. At TNC ako dito. TNC ako sa... Sorry. 2-1.
Alright, thank you so much. Nga pala, si Bentings, guys, manood yung mga racing yan. Napakasaya yung mga video niya. Thank you so much, Bentings. Thank you, Bebe.
Bye!
Ingat
Sa Patulang! Tayo naman
favorite. Thank you so much for Bentings. Ang dami natin streamers, guys, so please support all of them. If you have a favorite streamer, i-comment yung mga bagay sa akin din natin.
Kasi parang nakita ko yung top maps, every team, meron na sila mga designated na streamer.
Streamer armies, all of them. 5-6 people minimum.
Ang masaya na mag-stream ngayon it's made easy for every content creators na mag-stream.
Speaking of you know what? We have a huge day today. We have a huge game. Let's go ahead and go over our keys to victory. Ito na naman ang mga kailangan nilang gawin upang ma-secure ang kanilang mga panalo. Aurora and TNC. Let's start off with Aurora. Secure the neutral objectives and river and bush control is key against students. Very popular na to yung parang point natin. Mid lane is very, very important. But that is also one thing kailangan protektahan dito ng Aurora kasi mainit na yung mid lane control dito ng TNC. But also, yung typical gameplay, yung master plan, the basic objective of Aurora, they have to secure the neutral objectives para magkaroon sila ng tempo na bigyan si Dominica to the space to farm in the early game. For TNC, pretty good, huh?
Yeah. For DNC, sobrang crucial na kung sakali na nakulit ng Aurora, especially considering yung statistics which are favoring them in terms of these neutral objective takes, ay meron silang accomplish na cross map race, which I think is very dependable naman when we consider and talk about Zyda. But one thing I would also like to really look at is to leverage yung DOS strategy against this team, which I might want to look a bit more towards Benny Cutie when it comes to that. Kasi feeling ko may certain level of impact na nadadala itong player na to kung gusto mo na accomplish at talagang mag-double down dito sa second natin na keys to victory. And also yung backload din sa second for Aurora, no? Kasi alam mo natin yung mga light movements and gameplays across the map. So this is really, really important for them, I think. Yeah.
Itong tapatan na to, magiging magandang design yung tapatan ni Chuck. Saka ni Rimay. Ang tagal din na, speaking about 8-year history, diba, well, hindi naman 8 years, pero mga 5-year history, laging magkalaban na itong sila at si Chuck, mga Grak users. Grak users! Upra! Sure. Kasi yung European eh. Dahil sa tatlong wala kayong choice. I think one team cannot contain these two, so lagi sila nagkakatatatan. I really do agree. I wonder kung may magpapa-MMR din ngayon. Yan, naman ko. Yan. Hapon meron eh. Yun yung mga exciting panoodin dito ngayon.
Sige, Kuti. Sige.
Si Light. Yung Ross, tatlo yun eh. Yan, parang dito, kasi si Chuck, may time ng season 14, siya pinakamaraming hero pool. Parang dito, magpapa-MMR ba? Si Mr. Chuck Mamba. Yan, tanong. Baka may kilala yung ibang magpapa-MMR.
Ako na kilala ako.
Sino? May sayo ba yan?
Sige natin kung makakawasan ba ang beat.
Yung mga...
Significant ah, kasi we haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it. Yeah, we haven't seen it.
I haven't seen a
There you go. Oh, yeah. Hindi na getso na. Sige. Okay, so, may sayo pa yan. Nagsama sayo ba ba? Alright, so, tingnan sa sayo na yung mamaya. For the meantime, ito na ating mga players at ating mga teams na pasok na sa ating stage. To ensure the integrity of the game, let's welcome our marshals, Chico, Rex, Joshua G, and Duke. The lights may have flickered, but they're here to seize the win. Let's go to the M7 World Champions, Aurora Gaming Philippines. Everlasting, never dying, the never-ending flames. Witness the rise of TNC Pro Team. And our coaches, Master the Basics for Aurora Gaming Philippines and Anti-Max for TNC. A bright and better match is upon us. Super fans are ready! excellence in the form of a world championship has been brought to the Philippines. This is Aurora Gaming.
Real efficiency and precision incarnate. That is how I describe Aurora Game Philippines. And that's why in yesterday's opener, the epic rivalry between them and the defending Mpl Philippines champions, Liquid, they brought out again. I've mentioned the Island and the Legend, the opener and the closer. That was very uncharacteristic. I hope that today they gather their marbles, they tie their shoelaces, put on their big boy shorts and say, we have to respect the metagame, we have to respect PNC.
And that's something that's very opposite of what you would expect from Aurora, who is always very dynamic and fundamental. But this is a team who hasn't been afraid to get out of the box, especially in previous seasons, be it in terms of gameplay, be it in terms of videos. And it's also because there are certain playstyles that are very comfortable for them. There are certain picks which they consider to be really comfort picks for them. But beyond that, this has been similar to what we saw in the first series, a very long off season for PNC, who compared to the teams we saw, had finished off with a much better performance last season. So I'm hoping it's only improvements that we get to see from the Phoenix Suns.
Which is why this match, I think, is very anticipated. A lot of power rankings, tier lists, preseason discussions put PNC and Aurora in about the same power ranking and bracket because they both changed very little, if nothing about their lineup. That's why we're confident about how they'll go in the season 17.
That's why it's just so fun to watch TNC play as well. It feels like not much has changed because you see the DNA from their former teams all jumped in together with TNC, right? Like the grimy, the very scrappy gameplay from Omega brought to here by Chaku, the order from Echo that was brought by Ben and Cutie, that dependence, that cross-map play is just so fun to watch. And Aurora obviously shown the world time and time again that you cannot underestimate this team. Their DNA just speaks for itself. They have created the template.
Aurora here on the play, being home team chooses it's probably Rivers lead side. So they've changed the equation once again. Yesterday it was FC and PS. Now it's expand the Rivers. Why might that be?
Perhaps Aurora this time around. Also, we did see that despite the loss yesterday, they were still able to handle things really well. Despite even introducing or being forced to show us the more interesting bits, they were able to handle things really well. They did not allow Liquid to get that series without having a difficult time. But I guess it's also bringing back what really worked for them and picking up the pace just so that we could not allow for the Phoenix Army to breathe or have a bit more control over the game, because that's what you don't want Chapman to be able to do, because that's what we know, or that's how we're familiar with the Chapman whenever he plays his game. Now we're looking at Aurora Demon Fights N7 stats, and this is exactly what we were referring to in the Keys to Victory. There is a really good turtle and map control percentage favoring this jumper from Aurora, putting him in first and second.
Respect his name. He's not the same jungler. He's a celebrity.
I was looking for the shades. He wasn't complete without the shades.
Can't play with it, alright? But he wears it on the favorite side.
That's right. I guess it's just the rules that stop him from wearing that. We have a real shade.
He was wearing it during the red carpet yesterday.
Yes, right.
And all of them are wearing the shades.
I think, that's just what celebrities do. That's what they are.
It's how he rolls.
It's on TV, by the way.
And I just want to say, it's so interesting because, despite the picks yesterday that we saw, Aurora, I would say, I think a lot of people will agree that was still a very competitive game. Right? It wasn't like a wash or anything.
That's why I'm saying, if they stuck to their guns and played a game that was more familiar to how they ran through the M7 World Championships, maybe they would have a better early season performance. Right? Again, it already has a one dash on it. It has one loss against Liquid. But respect, it's still Liquid is the champion. Maybe now that it's not a fair level.
And TIT are expecting the possibility that they will just be reverting back to what's more familiar. first taking out the children in their bands. Even though again we are in expanding rivers, we will not be seeing the likes of the family or the Hilda, especially the Hilda, which is interesting. I think yesterday in their series against Liquid, they did not pay attention to the fan as much. It wasn't fanned at all yesterday.
Which is interesting because I'm pretty sure both Saida and Humankind
Yeah.
be very happy to take that.
I guess which is why. Because yesterday, maybe there's a bit more less of a threat that Carl Teasy will pick it up. As more maybe Demon Kite, but also the fact that they just left the Marcel out in the open. Maybe they didn't want to risk it. Which also is another thing you have to take a look at, because the Marcel also is available. There are a lot of priority picks actually that are still available. Even the Valentina. The Valentina might be something you have to look at.
Valentine is huge because that will kind of just discourage if you leave it open, will discourage picks like the Sora. You could do it like this. Sora's banned here, which doesn't happen a lot recently. So I love that you have that option at least.
So yeah, the Valentine Eve are available. It's
Sushi is bad.
Josh's program. So I don't know the role should be considering. Now even to backshot. So some of the key picks which worked really well for them yesterday are still out there though. That's the block too. The mode of the Eve is out in the open.
A lot of first pickable material up on the table here. Actually, your board yesterday, Eve as a usual first pick. Oh my goodness, I'm so used to seeing it on that.
Yeah, it's really here in red.
If I were to guess a single player in the MPL who knows how to solve a gold name Freya, it's the gold green fighter from 2016. It's Benny. He should know how to play this matchup, and I think in the first three alone, he should pick his hero. If it is a calculated pick, so let that praise her.
I'm sure TNC didn't just like let that through because Freya's with a high two of the strongest first picks being picked up by TNC. So you're right, maybe this is a calculated trade.
Yeah, nothing gets by finding Vito and Equinox.
It's so aware.
Whoever's wearing suits.
They look dapper.
They do. More than
True. Okay. I think it's the first Winnipeg we're seeing this season.
In MPL Ph.
I guess there's been a lot of like conversations on whether or not it's still going to be effective because of the rise and introduction of other or the new hero, maybe Marcel, and the buff on heroes like Servius who got picked up just now by TNC. So they did not reveal the Benny Cutie hero just yet to match this Freya.
We've never seen a gold lane for this. I don't know if today's the day. We've seen a million Fulvius played by Coach Etomax back in the day.
Yes.
XP service is combo, but we don't know if it's good.
There have been EXP3 games previously.
That too. And the Philippines 3 times. Whenever on jungle.
There you go.
So we cannot decide on the roles.
Very flexible lineups here so far for both of our teams. I love it.
Okay, but that's also taking into consideration that it's Benny Cutie. That's why we're considering the possibility. But now that the block, I was about to say the light, the block is gone for life. We got to. That was the last Winnipeg role. It's been a while, right? So I don't think
I feel like it's an M7. Maybe an M7, maybe from players like Kiboy.
Yeah, we've seen it in M7.
Right?
There's at least one room.
so. That's the
Possibly Kiboy. So far so good. I think the goalie is definitely going to be heavily banned here, unless it is a trap by TNC.
because they're also not thinking that it's like
I wouldn't think
that
honestly. Unless like before they brought up the news with the QE, I would never have thought of golden phobias.
Yeah. There's an Alice fan for TNC So knocking out Southridge Redbird. No Lapu-Lapu too. There's no Lapu-Lapu. However, it's open. I don't know if you'd want to do that. Uranus could be good against the Phobies. There's nothing really in the lane.
What's with the biases, man, though? Did they expect wiser biases?
Yeah. Because again, that Freya first look is such a flex.
Any of his hero pool was too deep, so maybe they really would want to risk it. There's just so much control that the Fergus and Eve could already provide, so that's already the label that's free. So you would want to lessen your problems. That's at the height also would be still a because okay, the purifying that's required because of the presence of the Sulibi. We get to find out what the hero will be for Betty Cutie later on. Now we take a look at Light and Edward. Where is it? I guess it's gonna be Edward, so
Edward's 100% gonna be picked up. But I'm not, again, we're not sure if Edward's going on Hawk or Jungle yet.
Because Light has played whatever you want.
yeah,
Exactly.
so there's just so many possibilities here. Because I'd like to think that it is gonna be a role, but where is the other damage gonna come from? This is gonna be Freya. I don't mind,
I'm
yes.
up here for Edward.
I'm like, okay,
Green Jungle.
in jungle.
Classic Hylos. So where's the damage? It's all on the Freya and the kill. That's it.
That's about it.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
You know what? Compared to what Rora's been doing since yesterday, this is fire.
You'll take it.
So it doesn't take something too out of too extraordinary.
Wow.
But I like it. This is the classic Benny Cutie cross map player we know.
Go indeed. This is not face activity. This is back low Benny.
Really, look at that. Predict match winner. You get 1,000 mlbb diamonds, guys. Super fans, go on, take it. Scan that QR code now to know more.
Okay, I am already excited to see how Chakno will be playing this Marcel. How are they going to get the most value out of it? Because even looking at Aurora's lineup so far, Benny Cutie and his potential to just constantly pressure the lanes, I feel like it wouldn't be that too or that hard of a task for him. There's no one really from Aurora, maybe except from Edward, who you could really expect to just go toe to toe when it comes to managing and preventing Benny Cutie from doing his thing. So Aurora might want to pay attention to that. But for now, I have my eyes on Chakno. How is he playing this year?
I completely agree. Coming in here for match 2, game number 1, TNC Pro Team versus Aurora Gaming. I am so excited to see Chakru on the Marcel. I feel like he's one of the players in the whole FPL Philippines that everyone just wants to know, hey, how is Chakru going to play this guy? How is Chakru going to take these photos?
No pressure. Rather, Marcel hasn't won.
Marcel hasn't won,
So it's up
exactly.
to him.
Yeah.
0-2, bro. 0-2.
It's just that you know him to be a very flashy rover.
He's like high IQ.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's the one who can actually make this work.
Together with the A2, right? So those are two passive AoE spells that you can commit when it comes to the team fight. But Aurora, just the same, there's so much pressure. There's a threat of a stun on the spatial migration. And if you don't get to finish off your targets in time, then there's just an easy way out with that.
I have a question. When you use Golden Hour, does the Eve projectiles also get removed from the top? Coming from okay.
Everything in that area
Everything.
ceases to function.
What about the Lapu Vega Spider stun? It does get relieved too.
So it's caught there like that.
Which is why it's so good against heroes who depend on like ultimates with cooldown or
Like the Lapu is outside.
Yeah.
There's a cast inward.
That's
also that I haven't seen that since
Alright, let's go to 3 more. Thankful that there wasn't really an engage. He was running with that wall.
So
Okay, both teams are already setting up for this turtle right now. First to get level 4 there will be you. Wow, the pressure on the EXP lane, you can really feel it.
Greatest fighter.
Yeah.
Preemptive. Wow. No dice. TNC coming to contest.
What a show.
First key to victory, secure the neutral.
Lands it over the blink. A lot of damage coming in from TNC. They fly Edward. Three spins off the Zona Sunlight. Where's that way? Can you get away? You put up a suit, buy a 3 more. Not enough to pin down the big centaur.
If there's anything I could add to our keys to victory, or maybe like put it right after securing the neutral objectives for Aurora, it's also making sure that you win first turtle fight. Because TNC, they're a team that will not hesitate to, at least if they don't get the objectives, will probably force out a fight, and that's exactly what we saw happen just now. But it's also probably Aurora just wanting to continue the pressure, I feel. They went straight towards the triple theft, but then it was TNC was able to capitalize on that.
You're actually right. That's the old Omega DNA that I'm talking about. That's making Brain and CNC. Okay, it's not always about the objective, but you also have to win that first objective inside. They love taking that.
Yeah, so right now, at least for Aurora, they didn't lose much. It was Edward too, and it'll be really quick for him. It's not like he's completely on a losing lane. I guess Fulvius totally right now. And at least for Dominkite, he's still up there, as you can see, in terms of the gold ranking. I feel at least almost 500 ahead of Benny Cutie even. So he's able to somehow manage Benny Cutie really well. As of the moment, I think we don't get to see him join a big fight just yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. There really is no pressure for Dominicite to pick anything up. But once they figure out Chaku's tempo and cadence on that run now, and that's when it'll make a difference, because truth be told, the Marcel is so strong against the majority of Aurora's lineup. 4 out of those 5 have to play around the gold now.
That's the thing, right? If you're playing around the Marcel and you're a melee hero, that's like a nightmare. Because you can't play around it. You have to go around the OC.
There's the gold now. We're stopping the turtle at about a third of its health. PNC looking for an entry. Oh, there's the RWM. Leaders no slide. Just use it. Fly, turtle take. And now light of trouble. Got revitalized. Not gonna survive. 1 for 1 the trade. Chaku for light. Up next is going. It's a V3 more. Double kill for Edward. Good trade. A turtle for 2.
Yep, they somehow equalized what was almost a clear win for TNC. That golden hour felt like a huge buy time just so Zaida could make it in time. And sharp as ever when it comes to the retribution, if only Aurora didn't find a way around that post-turtle fight. So what we mentioned earlier as possibly one of the strengths of TNC, Aurora are slowly catching up even after that one fight. They've already learned how to adjust.
Yeah, so it does feel like they know how to play around that golden hour. Apparently, just don't engage. And they were able to play around it very, very well. And then Primar being Fulvius was not really able to survive long enough.
Not yet.
Especially not against 3 people for Aurora.
Left alone though earlier. But did get so much space out for TNC. But you need a bit of help. And I feel like you could have really maximized it a bit more.
Left alone there, just like my favorite cozy game, Left 4 Dead. That's not a cozy game. That's not a cozy game.
Zaida, pushing out through, forcing Demon Kite to get on out of there. Nation migration on its here. On the bottom. Oh. You will get caught by the win hour alone.
Alright.
It's fine. He's got no edge.
Not much of, they don't really have that much to leverage. When he's not there, he can't like stack up those spears or anything.
Oh.
Fine. I think that's some gold on top though. So quick.
I also just want to commend how Yue has been doing such a great job at holding down the mid lane all by himself, because even against Chakra, he's not afraid to just constantly throw out these bullets and control, get the information, so Aurora are just overall well informed about the NC and their rotation. So you can see even both sides are already taken down by Aurora, or the Pisces.
Tracking shot fights Light and Yue, but they're still holding ground. Dominicite gets flushed out by Chaku. That's 4 members collapsing, momentum thrown out by Zaida. And they're pushing Dominicite out, but
the newly crowned M7 world champion in the gold lane, refuses to back down. This is 5 members of TNC mid. RWM by Lance, he's swiping away, far from the trader pit. In comes the Valkyrie's descent from Gilmikite. Golden hour, freezing that turtle, and it goes down. Gilmikite secured. No dice. TNC takes down life. One more, Edward backs out. SOD, it's on you. In that white brush does not force the issue. One hero, first one, I think Aurora wins.
Yep, they were okay with that. And how fortunate was it for Aurora that the two members who were in front of the golden hour was up, okay?
We're still going! Chatting with the tracking shot, crossing the tier 1 mid.
Okay, so back, those two members who weren't caught in the golden hour were actually the tankiest heroes of Aurora. So that was Edward and Blight. So even if they were able to isolate the damage dealers, TNT took too much time trying to take down these two heroes, who even by the end of the duration of the golden hour was almost still alive. So they were able to secure the objective, they were able to still fight back, and TNC were only able to get right.
Yeah, I think that just highlights how important it is to actually dodge the golden hour, because if you can reposition around it, you kind of just nullify it completely. And that's what we're seeing here is a masterclass of evasion here for Aurora.
They are breathing Gilmikite in. The punish is pushed. Top lane, the 3-2 Valkyries are trying to get away inside. Gilmikite with a massive violent requiem. Oh my God! The main capital is taken out. Double jump. Further pursuit onto Edward. Edward back by the spider. Now he gets the jump on. Gilmikite finds 3 more. 2 for none. Aurora are feeling it.
Gilmikite is never alone. Even when he looks like he's just going for the speed pushes and doesn't want to leave lane, Gilmikite was right there. An on-point spatial migration against 2, and Chapel, there was nowhere else to run.
I guess that's the tricky thing about this, or maybe that's the deceptive thing about this. Invisibility for spatial migration. You might look alone, but actually Gilmikite can actually follow up very, very quickly, and you won't even see it coming. So that's the scary thing here. Aurora looking really good as a unit going around the Lord right now.
He didn't even join anything. He almost tried to in that previous solo fight, but now it's a Lord that we're looking at.
It's not even a dance. This is a half-time blitz as the Lord is approaching a third of its health. Now, of course, where are the rest of TNC? Any goody clearing in mid. Adam Steve crossover with RWM and Glory's backlinks. I'll go Clancy. Lord's still out. Valiant Requiem catches Steve. Saida does not like where he is. Lord gets reset. Shot moves down. Saida gets killed. Another for Edward. 2 for none. And they get 1 more. 3 more is the third. Aurora standing on business.
Oh my goodness, these spatial migrations again and again from Gilmikite, who just took the Lord. Now, TNC are having such a hard time moving around these team fights. And to think that they weren't even able to take down Lue, who was just 1 hit to die at that moment. Aurora, another clean win in terms of the objective.
It just feels like TNC is just hitting and hitting and hitting, but no one's actually faltering. No one, their AC bars aren't going down. That's definitely an uphill battle here so far for TNC.
Traveler trying to catch him. Double freeze here. Not much of a follow through. Aurora has tonight so many good setups by TNC, and it's not just a setup, it's a follow through that they're struggling with. I love how the celebrities say no photos, no pictures, please, no golden hour. Holding up a free massive combo, the collapse from Aurora. 3 for none from out of nowhere. Make that 4. Penny Cutie gets caught out, and the Gilmikite does not want the smoke out of that fountain. The Lord marches in. Another waving mid. Aurora are going to be taking game number 1 at 11-11. Make a wish.
Make a wish, boys and girls. It is game number 1 going to the Northern Lights, and they in style.
Can I just say, he had the winter crown right before that jump. So it was all the more worth it.
Because the skill was elapsing while he was just freeze.
He was freeze.
And it's his own choice. It wasn't up to Chakra.
The celebrity.
He's really sticking with his moniker, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is such a spotlight stealer. All I'm seeing here with Demon Kite, and with that Winter Crown, he just got so much more confidence to make that play.
But at this point, we didn't have it yet, but even then, it was such a well anticipated way to answer back to TNC and possibly one of the few windows of opportunity that they saw. Because it could have been a kill for towards the Dominic Kite, but Aurora, they were always prepared. They were just always prepared. And yeah, see, I couldn't even say that Benny QP had enough room to scale. Zaida had enough room to move around because we would expect that this is a very high mobility lineup, but at the same time, we're always playing with the threat of a spatial migration.
Benny did play. I'm going to say it now. Benny did not play.
Which is a little sad to see because I did see him just throwing spears non-stop. It's not like he's attacking. There's MVP right here. The celebrity on the Guinevere Dumbo.
Who we weren't really sure that was going to be jungle earlier, but now it's certain, it's well deserved. It's just not a good opening week for Marcel.
Because
I would think it would play really good against heroes like this, because then you get to deny the pickoffs, you get to deny that brief amount of time that they could convert into kills. But the Marvels so far have always been forced to play defensive, and it was this Guinevere who was always in control of everything. And maybe that's another thing. You want to have control for majority of the time over the bushes, over the river, especially when you're on a hero like this. But Marcy just couldn't get that much control. The amount of pressure that Aurora had, they were the ones to always approach and push forward first. TNC could not find their positions.
Yeah, what ground TNC gets with all of their ults, Aurora can almost single-handedly cancel. And one of the main setups for TNC, that Marcel, takes too long. It's too honest. It's like, all right, I'm going to run through tracking shot, okay, and then I set up the golden hour, which takes like a second and a half. By that time, Aurora's out of there. That's why those golden hours always was used defensively or to freeze objectives. And those are the only things TNC got away with.
yeah, it's a little sad to see, right? Like you see a golden hour, you're all frozen up, like you're just taking a break. You just hit pause. Nothing actually happened after that.
And you just know that they're too ahead when, even despite the presence of the golden hours, they sort of just leave. They just stay there and look forward to the fight that will happen after that. Because either way, they don't care. They're just ready for another round. And this game ended so much faster compared to the other games we've seen so far in this season. It was a tough task for both Dreamar and Chakra to set things up. Even the real world manipulation in the very few times we saw it being casted, felt like it was a bit too far away from like the actual team fight that was happening. Because again, everything was just forced to use, or everything was just forced out of TNC defensively. So you couldn't really feel the threat. You couldn't really buy enough time for Benny Cutie even. And this is another thing. Like you would immediately think of Benny Cutie and his split push capabilities.
Yep.
But Oming Kite was well aware of that. He was the guy who pressured the lanes constantly first before anyone.
And investing in a split push play style, just trying to play not to win. You're assuming that it's going to come down to this. And I think they needed someone else who was more proactive, a different hero, or maybe a different mindset going into this. And that's why from minute one, Benny was already losing in the lane, which is again, one of the things you get when you lane against the Freya. That's why it's always there.
I feel like it became just a last resort. They were playing it as a last resort instead of like getting an early game advantage and winning the game from that. So maybe TNC can kind of just go back to drawing board for battle. We have a few minutes for the game starts, but you guys sit purified
water is filtered. Volcanic rocks stay crisp, clean taste. The punch is like no other. I just know how to play. You type
Yeah,
that.
demo.
That's amazing. But you guys see the Max 5 real estate? That's a cool for engineering, keeping these things locked in. No distractions, just pure performance. Brought to you by TT Racing Philippines. We have you back.
Yeah, there's so many new designs, by the way. We have an Onyx design.
An exclusive season 17 collab.
Yeah. If you visit us here, you'd see huge banners of Onyx players.
Actually, I saw those Onyx chairs in the restaurant.
In the
I know, stickers.
Photos of
Oh, is it? That's how much they want you to know.
the chairs were not in with comfort room.
Thank you so much for clarifying. I appreciate it.
I think that's what making us hot.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, why are they there? That's such a unique place. Okay, good idea though. If you're racing, look into it. Before we go into our game number 2, let's have a look and see what they're thinking about in our paint test.
Ano ako masabi? Sabihin ko na, walang na-feel ko kahapon eh. Na-feel ko kahapon, wala naman, normal lang. Normal na matalo. Thank you guys, sold out yung ticket namin ngayon and hanggang week 8. Solid yung mga bumiyahe pa ng malayo para lang makapunta sa venue. Shoutout sa mga watch party namin mula Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Pero pa LA, oo. Tsaka sa Mexico. Mexico, Pampanga.
Shoutout sa mga pansang mga TNC na lang guys. Season 17 na. Time to shine. Tagal-tagal din ng time na. Nakauwi pala pag hindi na naman mo. Shoutout sa mga guys. Galawin natin. Kailan kaya tayo masasabing galing. Pero champion. Bakit gagamitin si Marcel guys? Nahiya ako ng picture. Ano oras pasok yung mga guys? Kaya tuloy na topic. Bakit balik mo sa dati yung mic check yung dalawa yun. Para usap. Ha? Yung dalawa yung mic check. And thank you sa mga manonood sa amin guys. Pati sa Aurora. Nood lang kayo. Tingnan yung bagong venture.
Always amazing to hear legends, literal legends on our team test list. I swear I love watching people on stream. They're just so chill nowadays.
Yeah.
Because of
I guess he did look like he felt a little disheartened after what happened yesterday, but that's nothing new to him. Especially after what they've been through last M7, like the entire season long. Right? It's nice to see him just rather motivated after a loss against the team, and now they're not really feeling that experimental.
maybe not anymore. Just for the meantime, of course, even Kai Saglavier has a huge setup, and in the hands of a celebrity, yeah, he really does steal the show, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad that after the whole Bauman and Hasney incident yesterday, they debut a pick like Guinevere and Mpl Ph in the jungle, re-debut, one could say, with a win. So that's good. This is a great start for Aurora, or a great restart. You could say, great way to reset, especially their mindset. So, I expect that pre-match mindset for everyone to be kind of like, we kind of sense we lost yesterday.
Because last season, their only loss was also their first
The
Falcons match, which they had in week 1. And then, after that, happened the historical
13-1.
13-1 run for Aurora. So who knows, that can be again.
Are you just jinxing it? We just no, it's fine, right? It's fine. We can say that. We
We don't know just yet.
It's all about performance. Being a performance, look at the team's armies will rise here. We have lots of support coming in for the Phoenix Army. We're going to see here champion battle. It's going to be a champion season battle.
Because even Ben thinks, right, he was hoping that quick SB but TNC goes international. Or he's hoping that this is the time TNC goes international because they were just one win. So they were just one place away from getting there last season.
The farthest I think they've gone in a long time.
And they made liquid work for that win.
That's after that. I think they really got so many fans. That's why the Phoenix Army feels like they're just growing and
A
growing.
lot of new recruits last year.
Yeah, for sure. Considering again they are an all Filipino squad as well, all Filipino organization. A lot of people really appreciate that. Rora did pick Stanley Rivers, but now it's TNC's time on line ground.
What side did they choose?
We'll have to double check on that.
Okay. FCBS, I would assume.
Okay. So we're seeing it for the first time today because we haven't had the Flying Clouds map in our first
They went rivers in the grass.
Yeah.
Grass and rivers. So now we're going rivers into clouds.
okay, which is, I guess, okay if we want to play the more risky playstyle again in the beginning of the game,
Yeah.
specifically.
I always think about chocolate when I see Flying Cloud.
High speed, low downtime.
Because earlier it didn't. I want to think it's because of the Marcel pick. Because the Marcel's always there. He's always like looking for the pictures.
But here's the thing, yeah, Marshall's always there. But the big wombo combo, I feel like Chocolate's just more used to very explosive use, right? Maybe a throw, maybe a
Something that's more immediate.
more immediate.
Only it doesn't need like a second and a half or 2 seconds to set it up.
Because that's even like Zaida. I feel like he wasn't able to even play his game.
Because even Zaida has to wait a delay, you know, you have to wait for him to get Barbiel,
Yeah.
and then that's when he can start going ham. Even Eve, Lance has to find a good position and then make a lot of pay for falling into that box. So there's way too much setup involved for TNC to do well in game one. So now with Flying Clouds, at least they can solve the whole problem of if we fail, we can go again. It's less punishing to try and go again.
Yeah. We have to see Nanatoko in action again. Or activated series here in game number 2.
You're talking about the best jungler in Team 16.
Not unless the celebrity wants to maintain his status and end the series quick. Unlike what happened yesterday when they first went up against Liquid. But the bans are changing for TNC, even though they are already on the side, they will go for the second and the lead. So this is the change. This is the change. Might they want to get the 3 or 4 themselves this time?
Oh, there you go. That actually might fall into what we're used to. Maybe, especially with TNC, I really want to see them go brawly again. I want to see them take the fights early on.
Be proactive.
Be more proactive compared to last game, for sure.
Deny the Fanny, deny the Hilda. So this means the box is open.
Protection,
Sushin is open.
Vision, Helen, and Freya.
That's a lot. Actually, when you think about it, there's so many first pick material items here that I would love to see. Valentina most likely will also get just removed here somewhere.
Is it about time we just like let go of the Marcel? It hasn't been working.
No, you're right. It hasn't been working. That's 0-3. Boy Marcel.
The juice ain't worth the squeeze. There's the Sushin.
It looks flashy, but you're not winning games.
Especially against Rora. And I don't think they want to risk it either. It's like yesterday he had all the chances to pick it up, but he went 3 games grok. So that's the last bag for Aurora. Do they leave the Freya open? I am a doctor of Housing Valley.
They don't want to get punished with Freya. Whatever that might look like.
It's Benny either way.
Clarifying, I'm assuming.
Okay, so do they go, the lead one's still there, they want to give it a second try.
I think either take a lead now or a clock.
First pick, Leonard feels like it's worth it, doesn't it? Like, it's easy culture. It's a little bit of a no-brainer to just go for Leonard and make sure your team has a great composition to follow it up. Maybe provide some cover fire or setup. And usually the Leonard players just go ham. Now, going ham is not an option. They don't have to pay yet. But beer on the first, I love this. Such a, it's just CNC honestly. They're not giving it to the CNC.
It does, but the priorities seem to have changed so much.
Big change.
The order of things have gone out the window.
And that means with the Leonard, the Grok, open for Rora.
And the Vow.
I really don't want to pick that up now.
And the Sora.
There are just so many options. FTV.
Yeah.
Sora.
I wouldn't Sora just yet or Vow here.
Okay.
Well, we got on the backswing.
Yeah. When you're sure what Q3 is.
That's none of the above. Okay.
Very classic heroes at least.
And that's also what they that is what Yue used in game one.
Barely broke a sweat.
Yeah. It's untouchable there. There's a good beer on the other side now, though, but the back shot means that we already have a way to at least scout and constantly tank damage that could come in.
It's an easy answer to the Barca. Like, your legs to the Barca.
I dare you. Classic.
How about Lunox? How about the hero that he played so often in the playoffs in 2016?
Okay, now I am feeling this might go because you save Benny the responsibility of having to find a way to deal with the tankiness of.
Does Edward have a Valentina?
Have you ever seen Edward play a Valentine? I can't remember.
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah, but to me it feels like he was always the guy against the Valentina.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Does Tomlin kind of have a Valentina? We've seen both Valentina like once or twice
yeah,
in the past 6 months.
that was pretty good.
That's the thing, you have to trace where this horror goes. Unless you have this Dexter, fight it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, a Granger and a Kimmy. A Dot and a Kimmy.
Yeah, because Rora didn't take it on slot number 3, there's actually a very good chance it does get banned out anyway, just to make sure that the Sora has a fun time on lane.
Because you could throw still XP lane Valentina that maybe Edward's packing.
Yeah. Not bad, not bad. So this draft definitely has answers to it. A lot of comfort. I gotta say that. Maybe we're starting to see the first Lunox in the season, possibly first of May.
So they're thinking this might be an XP Sora still, or are they just really trying to take out all possible heroes for Benny so he's forced to just play the Sora instead?
Or maybe they're forcing him on the Moscow again.
But if they're looking to do that and CNC does not ban Valentina at all, it'll be easier for them to deal with this.
I don't know what, I would actually rather deal with that.
Yeah, because Red 5, the benefit of Red 5 is you can see the whole thing. You can tell where that Sora is going by then.
I'm gonna go to Red 5 swings. We see so many of that all throughout, and that's actually won a lot of world championships as well. So you're absolutely right. Let's go ahead and look into our next band. I love that blue band.
There's a Brock still.
How is Croc left open this late into the party?
Brock is cut in half by the Lunox executed here. He's so soft to magic damage.
And the ability to just plan for the crowd control now compared to before. Or maybe the XP range.
Oh my god. They're just spinning out Edward's picks. Go Valentina pick. That might actually push Edward to it. I would love to see Valentina on Edward now.
Yeah.
Unless just really want to keep the surprise. But then if not the Valentina, then you can throw so they're saving that hero for last.
Ultimate Hero last. Interesting.
There's a good TNT right now, looking for a hero for both Taco and 3 more Benny. But I'm still feeling that this will go gold.
Huge flex. The Sora right now feels like such a good flex.
If it's 3 more, we're talking about the backline dive heroes or heroes that you could pair up with the Brigadier once he goes in for the spatial migration. And that's a okay, that's another. So going in. CC! It's a CC Kapot!
Ooh, what a classic answer. They're on the last slot too.
Okay, Zidalo now. But it's going gold, so you can't like use it. So they changed it to a Lapu instead. It's Edward.
I don't know what that handshake was about.
Yeah, you still need the trace where the song is going, so you could like tap it and run the Valentina into the CC, and you never knew. So this is the best thing they can do. Just give Edward a reliable hero. He gets the Lapu. Oh my God, Edward is collecting NMR points on the Lapu Lapu on stage.
Right, and Light has his grok again. Amazing. It's like his 4th grok game this season already.
This is what I'm saying. Don't stray too far.
And that's exactly how they got that win streak, right? They just go comfort a lot.
Demon Kite says, follow the script, alright? That's how you win awards. That's how you act well.
Do what the director says.
Production, yeah.
Yeah, and possibly even this time on the matcha, literally follow me, because you could just be the guy to go in first. There's Light once again on the clock. They should work well together. This is, again, the Aurora we're more familiar with.
Chris Evans, Captain America, RDJ, Iron Man, Brock, Light, Paksha, DK.
That's what I know. That's all I know with movie history. Let's go into game number 2, folks. Aurora is up ahead. They are on maximum comfort. I would say last year's too. But
Zaida, oh my God. God, he's going immediately for that orange buff. Steal.
Oh, I think Demon Kite sniffed it. There's Shenan's up on my orange, and here's the thing, he didn't even start on his side of the jungle. Zaida went straight for Prime.
I don't think he even saw that, right? Did the Brilliant see him? Alright.
He was super.
And he stole a small camp.
They have resources.
The last time I think we saw this Brazen of Thievery,
John Wood or no? Was it something?
the Heyday Drive, sure, but also from old TNC, Season 9. SEC went to do the same thing.
So, even Kite did not get his orange or any orange buff at that because even Chapman was guarding their own orange buff, so he was also situation of fit.
Well, 3 more here, put on a third of his health. Edward and DK on him. It does come at a cost though. Because of Zaida's horizontal farming, the rest of the map kind of had to correct itself to Aurora on the 5-5.
Yeah, so either way, the experience is actually a little bit on par with our 2 junglers. So it's not like Demon Kites are like behind by a lot. Usually the experience is just the same.
They're exactly the same. So Demon Kite was able to deal with it. Either way, I feel like they're approaching level 4 at almost the same time. Kite definitely will be first. But there's Edward.
Oh no, DK is short. He does not have an ult. But Aurora is first to the scene. Light catching up a shot. Very fast drop here. And he gets it! They burst it down! TNC were too busy taking care of the rest of the map to see that the turtle was getting stolen from underneath their nose.
It's as if Aurora barely felt the need to react. Yura and Light, they just stayed in mid. They kept pressuring Lancy and Chasmo. So there wasn't really any follow-up that you could expect for Zaida, who was constantly on the opposite side of the jungle.
Is this the earliest we've seen a Sky Piercer built on a Kimi?
That might be
2.5 minutes.
so quick and so clean. He knows he doesn't even need the boots anyway. He goes straight for the sky piercer, maybe get some kills early. Yes, why do you need boots when you have literal engines behind you?
That's what you get. I get
Game logic.
literally stay there and get all your waves. The pressure is real for TNC at this point. But Demon Kite's already ahead of Zyda in terms of level, so
My lord.
everything's already favoring Aurora at this point.
I don't know if CNC feels this, but they're really getting out of here. I guess they,
Despite that,
yeah, even despite the invades that Zyda's doing, which is really interesting now that you think about it. Why didn't Zyda get like, such a huge lead against Tommy even Kaiser? Okay.
they won't be looking for the price just yet. It's tracking these sponsors.
Uh-oh. They're forcing him to use that dauntless, and he gets snapped right in his tracks. You gets a stack.
Okay, this guy's alone. Definitely can't go for it. First blood over to Aurora. Now this is a 1k gold lead that's slowly growing. And you could already expect that definitely this upcoming objective will be under control. Even despite the tech charge already being committed here by Light. You have to take into account that's Yue who already picked up that kill. That's an immediate stack on Sky Piercer, and he'll just constantly play this game of throwing out the damage or poking down the members of TNC.
That's true. This is right there. It's such a nuisance right now.
Zyda looking for the jump. It's just funny, Edward. G by Chaknu, no one home. Demon got a little relief. Here's a place start. They're finalized. Out goes Chaknu. A little bit more damage. In comes Benny. Lightning form. 3 more out of his health. A jump. The Requiem on by Zyda. Flinker. Charge. Killing it from Light. You are still alive. 3 more. Pushing back. 3 members of Aurora TNC are reeling. Down goes Benny. 2 for none. Aurora's just going in.
Absolute dominance here from each and every one of them. All the right moves and all the right places for Roar.
And I'd say TNC too knew what they wanted. Even Benny, he was after the kill on Yue. Oh, hold on.
Light's looking too much here. The brilliance by Lansing. Sorry, the darkness. What you saying?
Yep. So even despite that focus on Yue, Benny did not have enough damage to deal with him just yet. And I just really have to highlight what Light was able to do down there. Okay, 3 by 4 down of Dominic Knight. But yeah, Light standing in front of TNC and using his stuns, his knockbacks whenever necessary, did not allow for even the full amount of damage to come through from Lancy. And even the first charge denying that secondary engage. Oh
Go
no!
deep into the enemy territory here.
Down goes Zyda. He was just trying to get it out. 1 more quick charge. Takes Chaknu out. 3 more follows. Double kill for US.
All right, this Jimmy is getting out of control here.
It is.
4 stacks. Demon Kite from the back. Closing off the exit. That is the bullets allowing Les to get on out of there. Benny Cutie trying to clean up before we're pushing minions. Oh no. Zyda loses for Orange. Yes, he did. He had nothing. He's starving.
Oh, that is a big oops. I feel like denying so much from the Guinevere just makes it so much more fragile.
Yeah, because they prioritized this Guinevere. It was first pick to CMC. And it's clear that they have this idea of how they want to make it work, but Aurora, they're just too fast. They're not allowing for these facial migrations to even land. I think that's one of the most important things too, because earlier even 3 turtles, Zyda went in with the spatial migration, but Edward was not caught in that spatial migration. And when you don't have these skills, how could you expect the follow-ups to be just as successful? Aurora, just take it as a sign that it's about time they're the ones to start a fight.
In fact, Aurora saying, what follow-ups? What do you mean? We don't feel it. Like, they can't even catch up at this point. US is just obnoxiously strong. Look at him right now, everyone's setting up so well for him.
Straight from Total Take the purple. Denying Zyda and TNC everything on the map. There is no possibility for follow-up. TNC are struggling to even take their own resources from their own sides.
Because even if you go in, and let's say you're Lancy, even you saw it happen earlier up top. The moment he decided to use his Dark Ultimate, then Light would just be ready to apply some crowd control to make sure that you don't get max value out of it, because then you'd have to worry about, oh, how do I reposition and how do I just constantly throw out my damage without me going down. So every single member of TNT who wants to dive can't really dive.
PNC put in too much and cost them too much to do the thing they did in the first 2 minutes.
Right? It's such a pain as well if you're a Linux player. You just start getting, oh, I can't use it because I have to.
I did that yesterday too.
Yes, that is just real-time eyeballing on your tech charge. I can do this far.
Yeah, no, but you never know if I use my feature or not. So
I'm gonna catch you.
yeah, what if they get to force out something from TNC? I guess it's just a light thing.
It's just like, but he's just, what, that's threatening? It's threatening him, right?
Yeah.
So threatening. Oh my goodness. Now what do you do? Like, now if you make a move, 2 minutes later, the charge is active, by the way.
They know that there's their bravest fighter. Oh, there it is! No one home! There's a clean setup by Benny, but the damage isn't there. Down goes Light, the trade one for 1 minute, 2 for 1 viewing, it's another snap. And Beamer Kite exits as Dominica gets a kill. 2 for 1, plus the Holy Shield pops. Rora be styling on the Phoenix Army.
All right, explain to me. They messed up that engage. How did they get 3 kills out of that one?
Miraculously, Yue and Dominicai did not feel the setup. He did not, or Benny was able to land that cloud. By the way, before anything, that tech charge did not connect. It didn't. But Yue and the Dominicai were fine. And that's how you see Yue gradually go from 4 kills to 6 kills, and Dominicai just freely throwing out his basing attacks as well. And TNC, you cannot afford to tank all of this damage from these 2 marksmen of Aurora.
It did not connect, yes, but it did not matter for Aurora. TNC were already scrambled, and the damage that would be dealt to them wasn't enough for them to feel anything back. Like, it was their punish.
Despite a good answer from the QD, they also passed the torrent for him exactly as intended.
It's crowd control for the sake of. So 10k gold, again, that's you're literally fighting a modern special forces soldier with rocks.
It's not the way to do it. There's just no way that's going to work. So, yeah, we're so far 11,000 gold before. It feels like they are just roaring to finish this once and for all and secure that sweep.
Quick reflexes from Doming.
Oh Lord, you has a holy crystal. Goes crashing with the snare, 3 down mod. Holy should top the map. Traction pulse. Coaches that TNT to consider should we defend, should we not north into detour. Going up in range of this tier 3 in mid. TNT was the kill the Lord. So they do get to protect 2 out of 3 lanes.
It's a good thing they did not allow the Holy Shield to go down just yet. So even when the second wave came in, they didn't have to really worry about losing another base.
George Slicker, right line, starting it up. Down goes 3 more. Jump scares, will ya? Down goes that tier 3 in mid. And Aurora trade out Light. He is going to get a immortality pop. He is safe. He is fine. Down goes 3 from PNC. And they're still going. There's a Shrapnel left. And he gets taken out. Shot the picking up. He survives to leave the fountain, but at what cost? The base is going to be up next. Aurora at 14,000 gold. TNC.
That was just domination at its finest by our world champions. Straight up from game number 1. From day 1 victory into this one.
2 11-minute games for Aurora. They feel like they definitely wanted to get some revenge after what happened yesterday.
I don't think I'm wrong to say that they were angry. Oh yes,
Angry. That's how it's
not angry.
That's how the kids say it these days. Damn.
14,000 goal lead, by the way, at the very end of that. And we saw what happened if ever the Wild Sharks did connect. We saw it in spectacular fashion.
He did it again.
He did it twice in a row.
You know, played with TNC, they think they're now back to the drawing board.
It was all mind games whenever Light gets to use the tech charge when they're way ahead of their enemies. Like he shows you it doesn't land twice and then it lands the third time when it's possibly the most crucial moment for you and your team to defend. So we're looking at the highlights of that game, and despite the intention that TNC did or showed us with that early orange buff steal, they weren't really able to convert it into anything. Again, he put a bit more emphasis on the mid lane, on Yue, on his second Kimi of the series, who was just constantly applying so much pressure against Lancy or Chapmo, and that's one thing to note because it's against two players that he's able to do that. And even during moments where Benny decides to go in, tries to go in for the assassinate on the Kimi, he just always finds a way to escape. I feel like Light doesn't even need to worry about you whenever he has his Kimi.
Good question, right? There's no worries. And this Kimi, bro, 10-0-1. Crazy stuff coming in from Rora. Let's go ahead and hear from him right now.
Aurora! So make some noise for Aurora!
Spectacular performance. Grabe ang bawi niyo ngayong araw. 2-0 sweep and not just that. Napakalaki ang lamang nila sa match na to, Thea. At meron pa ngang nakamaniac sa game 2. UN! Grabe naman ang araw na to para sa inyo. Sobrang daming fans. UN, sa game number 2 na yun, in-expect mo ba na magiging ganun kalakas yung lineup niyo?
Di ko pa siya in-expect kasi na-invite lang kami nila ng World Cup. Pero nung pagdating nung mga 3 minutes